All right, I'm retreating back in for the next hour or so until my client comes and picks me up. So I got lots cleaned up in here yesterday. I didn't go crazy yesterday. Actually, yesterday was kind of an easier day. But tomorrow's November 11th, so that's going to be interesting out there. Those vets are going to freeze. Um, no. I gotta get my camera holder, which is this chair. That's that's what has to happen, or you will not get a proper reg video. And then what would you guys do? Then what would you guys do? Start with here. Yeah. Oh, I can already feel like the winter stiffness coming in there with the stiff back and all that there. As soon as you get to a certain time in the season there, like winter, if you have arthritis or starting to get arthritis, you're gonna know. It's like it's not as bad as it normally would be, but I think last time it was a lot worse because of my sciatica and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't switch. It's just that's all that was in the house. So I'll be cutting back on these big time. The work cuts back, the pop cuts back. I guess that's a good thing, but it's like then yeah. So I'm ready for mopping down here. Finally, I got to bring back the vacuum today. I got to empty it out today, but the garbage is going to be emptied today because it's Monday, and this is probably my last Monday of like regular season work. I'm going to be doing some chainsaw and stuff today. Okay, this is what I'm going to have a pole arm chainsaw today. I'm using my chainsaw today, and possibly an electric lawnmower. Yeah, I will be mowing leaves today. I got bags of leaves that I got to put into a raised bed. I got to flip the raised bed, swap soils, go back to my other client because that's where we're swapping the soil to, which works out good for me because we had the burn barrels probably a little more into the driveway than I would like, just because it's where the trees were. We had to keep them away from the trees. So I want to drag the burn barrels like way back. I bet you those burn barrels, that was like 2 days ago that that we were burning. I bet you that there's still coals in some of those barrels to be right at the bottom. But I just want to move it so the plow guy doesn't run into it, and then that bin's probably still there. The guys should either pick it up today, tomorrow, next day, whatever it's going to be. But that'll be good anyway. Like she had the bin rented for the week, and I think you got to rent them by the week anyway. Maybe you can rent them for like 3 or 4 days, but I don't know. I don't know what the structure is for that. But anyway, that'll be gone, and then all that junk will be gone. The plow guy will be able to really plow good. But I got to make sure that he doesn't hit any of these burn barrels because that would be disastrous. The amount of nails and stuff that are in those barrels, yeah, that would be disastrous, beyond disastrous. Uh, Next spring, maybe I'll find a spot where I could like empty them out and start over again because of all the ashes. Like one barrel, well, it depends how much it sinks down. Like when you're done burning, like the ashes are right. Like when we were done burning, there was ashes right to the top of the barrel. The barrel was already half full. Most of that was paper. So what's going to happen is that's just going to compress down to about half a barrel again. It takes a long time to fill up a barrel with ashes. It really does. Um, so it's like my goal there is to keep those barrels good till I'm done burning all the stuff that needs, all that outside stuff that needs to be burnt, which is a lot of stuff. There's like years of stuff there, and it's just like there's just so much clutter. There's so much clutter there. But I won't be doing that today. Today is about finishing up that raised bed garden, which I won't be covering it. We're doing something different this year. I will be adding leaves to the top of it and mulching the leaves onto the top of it, flipping the bed, which the ground isn't frozen. One good thing about it snowing now, like this is early snow for us. Like this is Like usually, it's not the first snowfall. We had a skiff a couple of weeks ago. Usually, you get skiffs like that until about December, right? And or sorry, about till November. But this, we're in October and we got like 2 inches of snow. So it's like, okay, it's gonna be one of them winters. Like, I'm kind of relieved in the sense that, okay, yeah, it's the 10th of November, or yeah, sorry, December is when I was getting to earlier. Substitute December for what I was saying. Yeah, so like skips the snow until like December, and then you get the real snow. But we're getting the real snow like early on, so it's like, oh, it's gonna be one of those winters. I don't know what I'm gonna do for you. I got to make a really quick decision whether I'm gonna have this plowed or not, because if I get a vehicle, I'm gonna have to have a place to put the vehicle, right? Um, because I don't want to be shoveling out my laneway. And I can't back into my laneway and back out of my laneway there. Like it's just too narrow to do that. But it's like, do I want to waste money? It's not like a lot of people have to come. Like if they're gonna come and get me, they can come and get me at my dad's. That's no problem. I don't mind that, uh, because today, like I say, is the last kind of day for this month, probably with this client, for regular stuff, right? So it's going to be a short day anyway. Uh, so like from this point on, it's like, okay, that's it. No more money coming in. Well, I still have one client, and then I'm waiting for another client to call me, and I'm still trying to get hold of the gentleman for the beaver trapping. But I'm not going to make a lot of money off the beaver trapping per se, but it's a couple extra bucks a week that would help me out a lot for the next 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how many beavers I catch, right? And then when I send the beaver pelts up and I get the check in around May, June or whatever, that helps out too. Get my season going. So I don't know. I haven't. He hasn't reached out to me, and I already bought the license, which was $40. It's not a big loss, but it's kind of a bit of a, if he's like, oh no, I got somebody else, or oh, don't worry about it, or whatever, we'll deal with it next year, or whatever. If it's like that, it's kind of one of those things that like I didn't want to spend that extra $40. I know, bitching about $40, but guys, that's my income level. You know what I mean? Like, $40 hurts a guy like me. You know what I mean? So if I'm not going to be trapping there, like maybe he thinks I just gave up or something like that, or didn't bother. But he knows I didn't have a vehicle, right? And he didn't tell the other guys about me, and he left for Europe for 3 weeks. So it's kind of on him to kind of reach out to me a bit. Like I've been trying, so I don't know if he gave me the wrong number. I keep getting like a fax machine, so it's like that fax machine sound. So I was like, okay, that or maybe his answer machine's screwed up or whatever. But I've called like about 20 times, and I've been ready to go since day one of trapping. So I don't know. I need to know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So if it's like, nah, don't worry about it, whatever, we'll deal with it next year. I don't have time this year. Okay, fine. If I get a vehicle, I'll take initiative myself. But like, I don't know. It's like, I would have rather not to. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but like, it wasn't that expensive. But it's just like, I'm not going to get reimbursed for that. You know what I mean? And $40 is $40 this time of year when all my work is running out. So I gotta, is what it is. I took the gamble. I mean, the gamble part of it is on me. I should have waited till I talked to him and confirmed. But I really thought for sure that we would have been okay. Maybe figured, okay, well, he knew it was the 18th. So I figured, okay, well, he'll be, if I called him on the 18th, I thought, okay, well, he's going to call me a couple of days after saying, where are you? You know what I mean? I'll be like, I didn't have your phone number. So I might know somebody who might have it, and I'll be talking to them tomorrow. And if that's the case, I'll get the number from them, and we'll go from there. So, because it's like, well, I want to get those traps in. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. And once there's ice on everything, like that's moving water, so you can't walk on moving water when ice above moving water, right? Like you just don't do that unless you got a death wish. Trust me, you will fall through. Um, so I'm like trying to make life easy for myself. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. So if I'm not doing that, I mean, if I'm not going to be doing that, like my other client, she really wants, because it's adjoining property, and like I say, those beavers on him is the same beavers that go to her place, right? So it's in both of their interest to collab, like she's very adamant. Did you get a hold of him yet? Get a hold of him yet? Oh, I saw him the other day, but I wasn't able to talk to him. It was like, and stuff like that. So it's like, but I might see him tomorrow too. If I see him tomorrow, I'll have a conversation with him, see if he's still, if we're still doing that or not, right? So because he might say, no, change of plan, don't have time to come and get you, and the other guys don't want to do it, so you're off the hook. Okay, well, no problem. So it's like, okay, well, and if he's like, well, if you bought the license, I'll reimburse you. I'll say, well, it was $40. So like, okay, but if I don't get reimbursed on that $40, well, I'll go cut a pole, set my trap, put it in the creek, see if I can catch $40 worth of beaver. Would it even be worth it? Would it even be worth it? Probably would be. I'd be able to trap till December anyway, just for, like literally right there at the bridge. You can check it every morning. Okay. Because hey, I did catch one of my most expensive beavers I ever caught was in that creek. So, yeah, maybe I'll catch a couple that way. But yeah, it's kind of like it's still on the ground this morning. It's like, okay, it's like, mind you, I'm looking forward to taking the time off, but I'm also, it's like, bang, I'm out of money. Like, I'm out of money the day after I work, right? Like, because of the way I divide my money up. And I've got about 400 and something in petty cash, and, I still got to get Christmas gifts and stuff like that. I still got to make sure I got the money. Well, I've got the money for the hydro bill and all that stuff. But I don't know what the hydro bill is going to be. I can imagine the first one's going to be a bit of a hit, but not too bad. The worst months is going to be January, February, March, right? That's when it's the highest. It's just what I don't know is like in comparison to what my brother was spending, was like he showed me the numbers and how much it went up per month, and from the highest to the lowest, but I don't know what my lowest is, because like I run, the only thing running in here right now is the baseboard heaters, which are the worst thing you could ever run for hydro, right? They're the most expensive. And the fridge, that's the only two things that are running in here on a constant basis right now. In the summer or in September, whatever, the only thing that was running was the fridge. Oh yeah, and that little aquarium that, because like all the lights and everything that they were running, that were on 24/7. Like I don't have stuff like that. I'm not interested in stuff like that. So for me, it's kind of a question of, like I know I'm going to be cheaper than my brother. It's going to be cheaper than what my brother was paying, but by how much, right? So it might be like $10 difference just because the heat's so expensive. Or it might be like, okay, well, it depends what the rate is, right? I didn't look at the rates and stuff like that. But I'll know as soon as I get the first bill. But I had no credit card debt going into the winter, so that part's good. As far as any sort of purchasing of tools like that, it's done for the season. I do have my roof rake and my snow scoop if I need to. I don't know how much of that I'll be doing this year. I don't know how much of that I really want to do this year. But it's like, and it's not, it's not about whether I want to work or not. When you reach those people that are like financially secure, and they're like, I would never do that job. I would just not do that. And I'm like, yeah, you don't understand. It's not whether you want to do it or not. You might not have a choice. And if you like to eat, maybe you might have to work. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at all the time. So any work that gets thrown to me this time of year, it's kind of like, I'll take it, because it's usually like a day here, a day there. But right now, next week, except for one day, I might be down to that 1 day a week, one client a week now, uh, after today. So I really don't know. And like today, tomorrow I do the Remembrance Day thing, which is not work. It's just, I go and, to the center. I take the photos for the day and stuff like that, and they go on to the municipal website and stuff like that. And then I don't know if I'll be putting anything in the Pontiac Journal, because last year uh, Bonnie did the photos for the Remembrance Day, so she hasn't contacted me for any little stories or anything in a while. So, uh, but the Christmas parade last year, I got like $75 for that photo. So it's like I'll still do it for the Pontiac Journal. Like, so, it's just like it's once in a while that things pop up, and I take photos for the Pontiac Journal. But no, today, no, today, like I say, I don't mind if it's a quick day today in a way, but like it'll be like the last money I have for the week. You know what I mean? So do I just hang on to it? Like Saturday, I took that money and I divided up into all my categories, right? But the thing is like I don't want to tap into my savings at all this month if I can help it, right? And but it looks like that's what's going to happen. So it's going to be a very tough winter. If I don't make a cent, let's say hypothetically from today on till April, I'll be tapping into my car fund. I don't want to, but I'll be tapping into all those funds. Um, like this is what people don't get a lot of times. They're like, well, just go out and buy this, just go out and buy. You can't. You know what I mean? Like, it's like just sell this, just sell that, and it's like, well, it doesn't work that way either. Like, it's like as soon as you want to sell something, doesn't mean there's somebody going to buy it, right? Or buy it at a price that's worthwhile selling it for. You buy $1,000 item and then sell it for like $150 that you have to wait like 9 months to sell. You know what I mean? Like it's so you can't rely on selling stuff. That's why I'm kind of like you put it on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, to GG, or if you're in the States, Craigslist or whatever. You put stuff on there with the idea of kind of like fishing. You throw the line in the water if you catch something great. If you don't, oh well. But you don't like, yeah, you're not trying to. Like, it's like I remember it was like when I tried the eBay thing. The drop shipping and all that. And it just, it works for some, it doesn't work for everybody. Like some people, and even at that, people aren't able to get away with that anymore. You know what I mean? As much. You know what I mean? It's not like it was just like, it is hard to make a living in the rural areas. It is. It's something that you have to make peace with, that you're going to be broke a lot of the time out of the year, and you're going to struggle. So the best way to make peace with that is to think ahead, right? Like you got to think like a squirrel. You got to stack your black walnut. You got to rob houses. Yeah, I haven't seen him in here this morning, but I don't know if he's been in here or not. So um, the only thing he's coming in for is that peanut butter lid, so peanut butter can. So okay, I might put it out on the deck, because I just didn't want to draw any other squirrels. I don't want to have like 8 squirrels like attacking me at all times, little buggers. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at today. Um, yeah, it's not too bad in here. It's 16 degrees in here, so it didn't really get that cold. I didn't turn on the other baseboard heaters yet, and I still got this one set at 15. I'm okay with that for now, but if it starts to get really cold, I'll put it up higher. Uh, it, it like I mean, this place isn't well insulated, so like when the real cold weather comes in, that's when I'm gonna have to crank it up. But like say like this time of the year, it's probably about 0 outside or whatever with the snow, maybe +1. See, my brother would have it at about 24, 25 degrees, right? Uh, like I'll probably put it at 20 when it's minus 40 out, and just wear whatever. So it's not something that the only thing I'm worried about is the water freezing. So like when I come down here in the morning, I'll run the water every morning just to get things flowing. Because if you don't use your water, it freezes. Your pipes freeze. Your pipes burst. Now I could shut the water off. That would be, I could shut it off in winter if I was really worried about it. But I'm not that worried about it. Like maybe when we get to like the minus 30, minus 40, I might drain the tanks and shut the water off for a week or so. Because it's not really crucial, but I do take my showers and everything down here. Um, it's just I don't want any pipes bursting. I got to shut the water off for a client probably next week, if or maybe John's going to do it. I don't know. A lot of times I help him because like some of the crawls, like he's an older man, he's like in his 70s, right? So, um, it's a lot easier for me to crawl around in those crawl spaces than for him. So just to empty all the traps and everything makes it easier on the two of us. The hot water tank is a real pain in the ass to drain there. So that's just the way it's set up there. It's like almost mission impossible. But yeah, we got to do that. My other client is another 4 weeks before she leaves, and then I'll be just checking that once a week. So I'll have at least one client for the next 4 weeks, for sure. That's normal every year, but that makes a very rationing week. So, like I say, those things are going to be basically I can't afford to have those every day. Um, yeah, so there's that. Other questions? Yeah, like vehicles. Like I say, I haven't seen anything in my price range yet, and it's kind of like if I like okay, it's not my busy season now, right? And if I wait till spring, I mean, unless an amazing deal pops up, like really, it would be less of a pain in the ass for me to not have a vehicle uh, throughout the winter per se, but I do need access to a vehicle at least once a week. So it depends, it's like I get that it's a pain in the ass for people to come and get me and stuff like that, but it's like okay, you need me to shovel your snow for a couple of hours, and then like once every other few days or something like that. It's really not that big of a deal when you think about it. It's not like they're coming to get you every day, right? So it's not really that much of a burden. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing the roof that I got last year, that I was doing like kind of like every snowfall, which was worked out almost once a week. That I was there once a week. I think there was one week where I did it twice because there was two really big snow dumps, but it was typically once a week. That gentleman hasn't called me yet. I can imagine he will, and if he does, I'll have to inform him that I don't have a vehicle because I thought about giving Greg that job, just to give him a client, right? But my other option is that because Paul won't be doing what you call it snow blowers this year. It was too much of a nightmare last year, like breaking cotter pins. Because a lot of our clients have like crushed stone driveways. Like there's nothing worse for a snowblower than those because they dig in, right? And whereas if you just got like regular ground, it's frozen solid and you're good. Um, my dad's getting the plow put on the little Mazda. It's in the process of that. He got the plow. It's kind of a big plow. I don't know if it's going to fit on that truck or not. But if he does, then I might be able to use that for plowing down here. And if that's the case, then I won't bother getting the other guy to plow because Marvin, ooh, little jerk. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I saw where you came up. Yeah. Hang on, listen on him. Marvin, what are you doing? Marvin, hey, buddy, get out of my work bag. Get out of my work bag. What do you think you're doing? Well, you should say good morning to everybody. You want it? I'm just gonna head right to the basement. Where'd you go? Yeah, we did this again. Okay, where you go? Where you go? Where you going, buddy? Oh, don't touch the electrical box. You want to see where he gets out? Is it in the corner? Gotcha. I got you. Okay, when I come back, you are never getting in here again. You lose, Mr. Squirrel. It was right there. So he goes in there. I can't see the hole, though. It's in there somewhere. What a blurry screen. That's something on my... Yeah, it's somewhere in there. Aha! I can still hear him there. Well, at least I know where he's going. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm going to win over Marvin. You guys, that's why you guys were rooting for me, because I could outsmart a squirrel. All right. Well, I got to do some other stuff before I get going. Yeah, I better. Okay. Ha! So Marvin has been, the riddle of Marvin is out. I win. He loses. This is what a winner face looks like. I'm very happy with myself right now. But I should be able to block him off once and for all. Good, good.